I'm going to use this. Is that all right? It sounds good. Let me thank Ahmed, our a wonderful guy. He's living with me. He's a beautiful person, and he's doing sound. So, Ani, that was pretty special. I got to watch her rehearse. I'm going to take a few of these without knocking over the camera, just in case. Because some of you know I'm a crier. Trigger warning, I'm a crier. So good afternoon, all. Those in the room and on Zoom, thanks for being here to share time to celebrate my mom. It means a lot, obviously, to be surrounded by all of you. Memories are flying amongst folks who knew my mom from all different strands of life. And I really hope I can go through this without too many tears. So bear with me and stand with me. It's kind of inevitable when someone dies that people offer condolences, right? Words of comfort. They ask, how are you doing? Or offer an I'm so sorry. And strangely, throughout this time, watching my mom to prepare to leave us and in the immediate aftermath, it really has not been a time of mourning. It's strange. In part, it was the gentleness in which she left us. Her absence, though, has been overwhelmed by a sense of deep thanks, appreciation, almost disbelief at how lucky I was to have her as a mom, to be raised and supported and loved by this woman. It was simply the luck of the draw, right? To be born to my mom and dad. It didn't have to be. And I truly did win big. And today is just a further expression of that because she's catalyzed us to come together both here and on Zoom. And she also catalyzed something else. And I want to thank my old friend Jeff, who's somewhere on Zoom, lives in Portland, for pointing this out. And I think he said that one of the takeaways from this experience is an even greater recognition for the closeness I forged with my sisters, Harriet and Roz. Sorry. I not only cry, but I also sniffle. So this process of supporting my mom and dad in their later years, the kind of seamless planning and coordination, the overlapping visits has only brought us closer. So to both of you, deep love, deep thanks. It was really an incredible process. And of course, I want to thank Pat and David, who were very much a part of that because they were, doing the stuff at home to make it possible for both of them to be here. And of course, all the kids. So today we've heard of many of the qualities and skills that my mom possessed, that she really mastered. Teachers come across a great friend, a strong woman, a loving sister, a wife, a mom, a grandma, a lover of books, theater and dance, her generosity, her warmth, her smile. But I want to zero in on one that I'll hold as one of her most precious gifts, which is presence. Give me a moment. Collect, breathe, do all that. Presence, which means to me like showing up, being here with you, engaged, being present. My mom was in the room. In notes I received the words today, I think Emily referenced it. So many have noted how she held space, that she listened hard. She remembered detail. She would ask specific questions following up our previous conversation. One example is, how's Roger? How's Sharon? How's Roger's play going? Or how's Tallulah? Does she still work at that restaurant in Tribeca? And so much more. There was such specificity. It was such a gift. She held space for someone by taking a sincere interest in their life. And this happened everywhere. As a kid, I remember accompanying her to John the Fruit Man with the long lost fruit store over on Flatbush Avenue. And when she walked in, they hugged. She would ask us about his life. Later in life, though, she did admit that there was a bit of flirtiness going on. And it's probably why we did get the best grades. The best. There was Pat the hairdresser, Bill the butcher, the waiter at the restaurant, Francesco, near the new school where she took classes, who she ended up visiting in the hospital when he was dying of AIDS. Sorry. More recently, there's Rob, who I think is on Zoom, her Florida trainer who kept her fit and strong, who she deeply connected with. And they would talk and talk as she lifted weights. And this goes back to when she was 94. Rob, who she often called Rob the trainer, wrote in a note, Phyllis no doubt made me a better husband, a better father, and a better person. Her lessons of life will live with me forever. These were people in her everyday life who she forged the connection with, brought smiles to, and made their life and hers richer. And my mom showed up in people's lives when illness and loss came, time and time again, with countless folks, being the person that made the visits to the hospital. She cooked the meals, she sat with and comforted and just chatted. And she showed up as a mom and grandma. When times were tough in my own family, she and my dad were endlessly supportive, providing an ear, giving of time, offering help and support for me and Aurora, Angelica, and Ani. Presence is an art form, a gift to give someone. Being present to listen, ask the next right question, and remember it. Simone Weil, an author, a philosopher, a woman who I didn't realize was activist during the French Resistance, said, attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity. In her philosophy, attention isn't just focus or concentration. When you give someone your undivided attention, you're offering one of the deepest, most genuine kinds of generosity. Attention and presence make someone be seen. They become human. Paying attention to someone else, listening, being with them is a deep act of humanity. You allow someone else to really exist. At a time when distraction seems all too easy, our phones are constantly with us, buzzing away. The busyness of modern life, there's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's Max, there's Apple. The act of being present seems harder than ever, yet maybe more essential than ever. At the end of my mom's time here with us, she never seemed more present. In daily calls with her, in the mornings in the Berkshires or Sarasota when I visit, she'd come out of her room, she'd sit in her bathroom, and we just talk. There would be stories told, and she would ask, how are you? And then she'd ask, are you and Ritu still happy? Tell me what you've done together. Tell me about Ani in Asheville. Who's she living with? How do you think Angelica's doing at the farm? Have any cows been born? She wanted answers, not a few words, details. And I think of what a gift that was, what a precious gift. And her absence, when I think of her absence, it's felt on that. So as many of you know, I spent a lot of my time in life advocating for things, right? Kind of, that was my call in life, was to kind of push and shove. So I'm going to take this opportunity to do that again. You always had a call to action when you spoke, right? Write that letter to the legislator. Let's all join together and go lobby up in Albany, whatever it might be. And my takeaway, our takeaway from the life of my mom, Phyllis Jaffe, is to show up, be present, be in the room, be with the other. Get off of our phones, out of our own heads, be present with those you encounter, whether it's at the gym, in the store, hold space for people. And that means time and it means energy for those who are friends, for those you love. Give them your undivided attention. Make them feel seen and heard. Make them feel alive. It's perhaps the greatest gift we can give each other, and it's what we're giving each other right now. So I want to thank you. I love you all. I thank you. I love you all on Zoom. And let's just give each other the kind of attention and presence that my mom gave all of us. So thank you.